New structure makes great sense in the forward-looking approach we are taking to conservation management.
Question number 8, Dr Megan Woods.
Mr Speaker, my question is for the Minister of Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment. Is he still confident that postgraduate students will simply convert to borrowing for their living costs following his abolition of student allowances for postgraduate study that became effective on 1 January 2013?
Honourable Bill English.
On behalf of the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment, I would expect a large number of postgraduate students will borrow for living costs. A number will also choose to undertake paid part-time work, while a number may leave study to enter the full-time workforce. That choice will be up to individual students and their own circumstances. And I'd point out to the member that an increasing number of students entering the workforce is what happens in an improving economy.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
Does he then consider that his abolition of postgraduate allowances contributed to the fall in postgraduate numbers at the University of Otago for the 2013 academic year?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, it's possible that it may have contributed, but you've got to remember this is in the context of the sustainability of student allowances for all tertiary students. Student allowances in 2007-8 cost $385 million. By 2010-11, they'd gone up to $620 million. So student allowance continued to rise just when the government was running large deficits, and in order to make student allowances sustainable, we have trimmed the scheme.
Supplementary.
Dr Megan Woods.
Is he then agreeing with the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Otago, Professor Harleen Hayne, that the drop in postgraduate student numbers was almost certainly the result of students deferring postgraduate study because of financial consideration brought about by his government's decision to abolish postgraduate student allowances?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, no, I don't agree with the Vice-Chancellor that that is almost certainly the case. Students make a range of choices in response to both this policy change, but more importantly for postgraduate students in response to job opportunities in the economy. And it is quite likely that as the economy continues to recover, more students, having already achieved a tertiary qualification, will opt for work rather than further postgraduate study.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
Given that of the 1,000 fewer than expected students at the University of Canterbury in 2013, around 100 are postgraduate students, that's a 12% decline in postgrad students versus a 7.5% decline in undergraduate students, does he consider his abolition of postgraduate allowances contributed to the fall of enrolments and has put further pressures on an already financially strained university?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the leadership of the Canterbury University has speculated publicly about a range of reasons for the drop in enrolments, and members right, it does put some more stress on that university. But you have to say in that case that a combination of job opportunities in Christchurch and particularly, but also across the rest of New Zealand, and the ongoing difficulties they have grappling with the effects of the earthquake, it's not surprising that there is some change in student behaviour with respect to Canterbury University.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
Given that he has just outlined a range of factors contributing to the financial pressures at the University of Canterbury, and that the university has committed to submitting its business case on time, will he commit to an October deadline for deciding the full extent and timing of government support that ensures the continuation of a broad-based and research-intensive University of Canterbury?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the government, of course, would want to make a decision as quickly as it could, but that will depend to a significant extent on the quality of the business case. But the member needs to remember she can't have it both ways. Her party portrays itself as a party of fiscal responsibility. It can't go then opposing every single measure that leads to keeping the books in better shape.
Supplementary question, Tracy Martin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, has he seen any reports of any other group of New Zealand citizens being required by their government to borrow to live? And if not, does he believe this is discrimination?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, it's quite common for other New Zealanders other than students to have to borrow to live. It's called an overdraft. And a lot of small businesses actually get from one end of the year to the other on the overdraft, and they're pleased if it's cleared. And those overdrafts are paying wages and drawings for people who run those businesses, and the same for individuals who run overdrafts. So I don't think it's at all uncommon. Students have the privilege granted to them by the public of New Zealand of having interest-free student loans, and I think most students appreciate that.
Question number 9, Simon O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question's to the Minister for ACC and asks, what is ACC doing to reduce the incidence